This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. A special thanks to our Supreme and Master Speakers, Circa Barakeel, Remy Asalia, Saray Cypher, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Nina Grimstarter, Casey Schaefer, Daimos, Ciciriful Alirafu, Lily Black, Hans Grenade, Sapa Chakwatol, Asuta Starbreeze, Faris Gentoro, Cletus Oreo, Quick Levin, Sayuri Snowfall, Luclian Atrell, Stella Bell, Ceres, Icy Lee, Lyria Rain, Pamela Isley, Umbral Wind, Naive Arino, Celeste Rascris, Elenriel Maximus, Edwin, Bob Cece, Celestia, Fabson Voidworm, Yuling Jung, Raimi Maverick, and Code Red No. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you. And Congro.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 186. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Whiston and Mail of Anadar.
Hello!
Hello! It's just the three of us again today. Rollo's still feeling a little under the weather, so it'll just be us. In this episode, we will be talking about patch 5.21. We'll discuss all the stuff that was added in this patch, including Diadem and Ishgard Restoration. We'll discuss the Qitari Beast Tribe. I feel like it's been enough time so we can talk about the whole storyline. And we'll, of course, read Mog Mail at the end. Make sure you send us Mog Mail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post-show. We will be reading questions from the Syndicate, and we will start a new tournament bracket for dungeons, so you don't want to miss it. Right, what have we done in 14 this week? Mela. I think we should probably add that we shouldn't go too much into detail about Ishgard Restoration and Diadem.
Oh, that's okay.
Because we're going to talk about it in the main story. So,
Right.
What have you done other than? Well, you can tell us if you've done Diadem and stuff, of course.
Well, I've spent the majority of the week in Newcastle, so I've not had much time
True.
to play the game.
Yeah.
Is
Sorry. Is there an old castle?
No.
Okay. Right. Go on.
Since, other than that, it's been pretty much Diadem and like 2 expert runs.
Wow,
been a
what a
great
week.
Yeah, I was going to ask how much tome grinding have you done?
Yeah.
I'll have enough. If I do it every day, I'll have enough for the week by Monday.
There's always tomorrow
Stop
and Monday.
tickling the microphone cable.
Oh, am I tickling? Oh, I am. I just... Should I touch the cable to fix it? Is it making weird noise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Brace yourselves.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. Georgi, what have you done?
I mean, I've done about the same as Mailer. I've done a couple of expert runs. And Diadem.
Yay! Yeah. I'm realizing that I also haven't done much. I haven't done enough experts. I'm going to have to panic grind.
You're going to have to catch up to that shit.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about this, though, is it's not even a segue into talking about Diadem, because
no, because we
other
want
stuff we'll talk about first.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've done. A couple of experts and Diadem. And crafting. I did some crafting, but we'll talk about all that in a little bit. Let's jump into recent events, because that's where all the meat... Well, the little meat that we have is in recent events.
The gristle.
Ooh,
and we will start with the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers documentary stuff that we've talked about in the previous 2 episodes. Part 3 is out now. It covers character, technically, like just design of characters.
Design of
outfit.
the characters and gear and stuff.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's got I watched some of it. I haven't watched it like thoroughly. Mela did.
Yeah.
But
good.
it's got the lady.
It's got the woman who's straight out of the Victorian. I think she's called
so
Ayumi
sweet.
Namae.
Yeah.
So she's nice.
Yeah, it has a few.
Yeah,
go on.
She designed all 4 appearances for the Vieira. So she just fully designed the Vieira pretty much.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's her design. They also showed. They showed this these like sketches of potential new white mage artifact gear for.
Yeah.
Was it? It's Shadowbringers.
It was for Shadowbringers.
And we all know what they ended up with. I personally find it to be a hideous outfit, especially with the headpiece. And they showed these beautiful sketches of like other types, like much better looking gear, more based on the original artifact gear. And they went for the ugly one. So just wanted to say that when you see that documentary and you see that part, you will weep if you're a white mage.
I suspect they went with what they ended up choosing because the habit makes it look a little bit more unique compared to previous white mage AF gear.
Well,
whereas they might have feared that the other ones looked too similar.
That is true. She did take all of her designs to the people on the team who main white mage and let them decide.
They went with the more mature one, they said, and
Yoshida
put on a nun habit.
had the final decision on it.
Yeah.
And they went with the mature appearance one.
Yeah.
I think it's okay, but obviously without the head.
On the other ones were so good. There were ones that
they
had
were more like circlets.
Yeah, which is always better for white mages.
Everyone turns off because it just clips.
The circlets are better than the fucking habits, Mela.
Well, yeah, okay.
How often do you see people with that on?
The funniest part was, so she designed Yustola, Reen, and Urianger, and she talked about Urianger's outfit and said she was told that the Astrologian artifact gear would be based on his outfit, just a recolor of it. And when she designs Astrologian outfits, it has to have a feminine look. It has to.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make Urianger's look. I can't remember what the word was, but like strong enough to be okay on a man, but still feminine enough to look okay on the women. Bless him with his strong dress.
It's very powerful. Yeah, so go make sure you go watch that. Part 3 is out now. The other 2 parts.
Every Thursday.
The 2 parts left now, right? No, 3. The 3 parts.
3 more. I think it's 6 parts.
Yeah, every Thursday. All right, let's talk Qitari. If you have, if you've been keeping up with Beast Tribes, you don't even have to have kept up for.
No,
like
people are hitting 8
day.
now. Bloodsworn now.
Yeah. You should have reached the end, or at least close to the end of the Beast Tribe quests. The Qitari Beast Tribes. I guess it's not Beast Tribes, it's just Qitari Tribe quests. How are we gonna attack this? How are we gonna discuss the story, or because I have questions? I wanna talk about like how this storyline or the decisions work
Affected the quest line.
Because from a lore perspective, this is hell. How are they going to write about this in the lore book?
I think they'll just say that there's conflicting perspectives,
which is sad because now we don't have a clear canon story for the Qitari. But let's talk about that at the end. Let's talk about the actual stuff here. So it's we're basically just digging up Ronkan artifacts.
I mean, we're not really doing that.
No,
They're doing
the
that.
Qitari are.
No, we're just collecting high quality beehives and stuff.
Beehive chips.
Yes. How do you feel about the characters in the story? We meet the dad and the son.
I really like the Qitari interactions.
Mhm.
I think they're cute.
Yeah. I always
Like it when
like
they
it.
smile.
Yeah. Yeah. I always liked the Keycurn, and I've always felt like it was a lost opportunity that we never really got any big storylines with the Keycurn, because they're very clearly a big part of Eorzean society.
Yeah,
They have.
I feel like it's still upsetting that it's the ones on the first rather than them.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that. They did say that they originally planned for the Keycurn to be the gathering and crafting based tribe of Stormblood, but then they fell in love with the Namazu and they supplanted them.
Oh, they were good too.
They
though,
were
so
good
it's
too.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably my favourite side quest in Shadowbringers that I've done so far. I still have a couple I need to do, but I've done most of them.
Right.
Is the Great Serpent of Ronka quest. It was so good.
Yeah.
So to have those characters back as well was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Maybe
have more of them.
Maybe slightly cheapened the Great Serpent of Ronka by having so many.
Again, which
And
is a
having
problem
them out.
sometimes in this game, is that they kind of jump the shark sometimes on certain
Yeah.
things. But
I'm fine with this.
At least they look cute with their hats.
yeah, yeah. Right. So you have to pick. You have to choose between, like, every time you rank up, you get to make a decision about. So how do you pronounce the word? When I did
Stelae or something?
because I remember when I did roar, I mispronounced it once, and someone corrected me, and they said Stella. It's a Stella.
I think it is
Or a Stella?
Maybe.
Stella. I can't remember exactly what the
Why don't
pronunciation
you put the
is.
word like Google?
Oh yeah, let's see what
Translate,
Google
see how they
says.
pronounce.
Okay, this is going to be canon on speakers now.
Oh, it's going to say it really weirdly. I don't want it to be canon if it's awkward to say.
I think it's Stela.
Oh,
It might
didn't
be
say it.
Stela.
Hold on.
Steely.
Steely, she says.
Is that the plural?
Oh yeah, it is. That's odd.
Steeler.
Yeah, so it is Stela. Stela.
Stela.
I'd
And
say
Steely.
Stelae
What?
rather than Steely, but fine if that's what she wants.
That's what she wants. Don't be mean to the Google voice to text.
So Stela. Okay. So we dig up Stela or. Oh no! What was the plural again?
Many Stelae or
Stele.
Steely.
Oh fuck this word. Okay.
Wasn't it Steely? For the
Steely.
plural?
Yeah. Steely and Stela. You dig up. Okay, so they dig up these like slabs, and there's and
Tablets.
These tablets, and they have they're broken or they're like deteriorated.
Hard to decipher,
They're
but you can make out
deteriorated, yes.
key elements of them. And the son and the father have different sort of interpretations of what they see on it. Usually the son's is very optimistic and the father's is very pessimistic.
Yeah.
But you can choose one for each, and it builds the story as you go along. So if the son has decided that the Ronkans were nice to you, but the V's were not, it will all fit the text to match that, which is a lot of writing for the team.
I am just a little upset that there are only 3 and not 4 for a very specific reason. Because I was very consistent with my first 2, but then picked another one for the last. And I thought, oh, please be a 4th, otherwise this will be very annoying to me. And it is very annoying to me now, because I have 2 of one color and then 1 of another.
That's why I just
I have
stuck
that
with
too.
picking all 3 of the same color, because I realized there was potential. I thought there'd be 4 as well. So
I assume
was a
there
part-
was before. I'm a bit disappointed. So I still need to do the 7th quest.
Yeah.
There technically is a fourth one. It's just not a choice.
Yeah, it's not a choice.
Okay.
It's just like the top of it. It's just like the symbol.
And it's
on top.
non-colored.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is non-colored.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But it's not like in the same style as the others. It's like a statue
sort of
kind
thing.
of thing. Yeah, it's like the cap.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you decided to go with the sun's interpretation on the third one?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know why I did that because I thought
Which
I
one
can't
was the
just go
third
all on one side.
Oh, the Namazu, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
with
though
the
it's because I thought they're not. So I wanted to make the Ronkans based on how Eorzeans or the Sources empires had always done it. So when on the last one, which is either they hunted them to extinction or they just left, and I think the Ronkans aided them or whatever, but they still left at some point. I just thought they wouldn't be stupid enough to hunt them to extinction. This was an empire at the time. Why would they eat this fish
Delicious.
to extinction?
Delicious.
Yeah, but to extinction? That's a stupid thing
I
to do.
mean,
The dodo.
you say that, but consider what we do. So I don't know why.
Yeah,
you're
but I'm
giving
basing
them
it on Eorzea, not on
But
the world.
the Allagans were very scientific and sort of all about preserving species and cataloguing them, whereas the Ronkans appear to be a bit more primitive than that.
Mm.
Ronkans seem to be more about like
I also had a
Golems
sneaking
and
suspicion
that
that
sort of magic.
they added the Namasu in here so that they at some point can cram in some Namasu references in the game.
oh yeah, you gotta
Well,
have more Ramesses.
the thing is, they've already shown Namazu as being something that the Ronkans were aware of. I think during the main scenario at some point. I think there's a Namazu statue in that lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think this is sort of just like explaining it, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would have been really weird to have mention of Namazu, or like even allude to them earlier and not have any explanation as to why the Ronkans knew about what they were.
Yeah. I also had this idea that I was gonna get another different color, a blue
Yeah.
color. So
Mhm.
I was just sort of I'm so angry. I would have because this is the one choice where I probably would have picked the father's choice if I'd known it was only 3, because I picked the dad on all the other ones. I made I wouldn't say evil empire. It's more just like how I perceive the empires of the source. That's what they would do, anyways. I know a lot of people just. I mean, that's the problem with it. That's the problem I kind of have with this quest, is that there is no canon to the Ronkan Empire right now.
It's your canon.
My favorite. Yeah. Should we go through what we've picked? It's you already know mine. The first two dad, the last one son.
Yes, so for the first choice, it's a decision between saying whether the Ronkans welcomed or cooperated alongside the Qitari, or no, it's not cooperated. They tried to defend the Qitari from all the wild animals, or they subjugated the Qitari until making them work for them. So I picked them defending the Qitari. Akil went with subjugation. And what did you pick, Mela?
I chose that they protected the Qitari, the child's one.
And then for the second choice, it was when the V's first came to the Raktika Great Wood. It was, I don't think, what was the specific? Was it they just tried, like, scared them or threatened them?
It was like they were attacking them or welcoming them. It was similar to the other one.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I chose that the V's welcomed them. And Lakil chose that the V's attacked them. And what did you pick, Mela?
I chose that the V's attacked them, and then the Ronkans, because they were nice to the Qitari, protected them.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one is there used to be Namazu in the Great Wood, and it was either the Qitari shared in that bounty or they drove the Namazu off to have all the fish for themselves. And I had them sharing, Lakil had them driving them off, and Mela?
I think I had them driving them off.
Wait,
I
driving them
think-
off, is that the son?
Which is the father's choice?
No, that's the father.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I
I think
picked the
I-
son there.
Sorry, yes, you picked the son. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had them driving the fish off because it
Mm.
would have threatened the food supplies or something.
Mm.
Either way, the Namazu die off.
Yeah.
Well, the
they
numbers just
disappear.
choose. They leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's. There's also this weird thing at the end with there's a fever or whatever, which is fitting. It's this disease.
Yes. Because the Qitari, the reason for why we never saw the Qitari previously is because they were stuck in a part of the woods, the part of the woods at the other end of the Katana Ravel.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
they were stuck there because of all the Sin Eaters preventing them from
Mm.
getting back to the rest of the Great Wood.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah,
once
because they
we-
say that they watched you defeat the Light One, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they saw us defeat Eros,
Yes.
and
Monkey
they
Master.
used the
Oh,
Cerberus.
no, he's the Chimera thing.
The chimera-looking creature. Yeah.
Yes, Chimera. And so at that point, that's when they come back, and the ultimate explanation is that there are like naturally poisonous plants in Raktika that you grow an immunity to through living in that area, and because of the cross pollination of the Qitari going to the main part of the Great Wood, they're exposed to new poisons, and they brought the poisons from the other part of the Ravel that affected the people in Slitherbow and Fano.
Yeah.
Ah, evil.
And then they find an ancient Ronkan cure for it.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Okay.
happy.
Yes. And that's that. And then you get the final thing on the top of the monument, and everyone is happy. That is the end.
Hmm.
How do you feel about this quest line compared to other ones from the past? I guess the most recent one would be the fairy
Pixie.
pixie one.
Pixies. I liked the Ronkan. I liked the serpents.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
liked all of them.
Yeah, there were less like visual updates between the ranking up. I hardly saw any difference. I mean, there were structures added, but
Yeah.
it
Yes.
didn't feel as substantial as with the Pixie one.
No,
At
they
least,
got a whole zone.
yeah, they got their own zone. But you did have this monument thing that you were making based on
I
your
think
own decisions.
It's always fun to learn about Ronka, and the characters were fun. The main quest line was quite good.
Yeah.
My issue with it is more the daily quests because they're so
Oh,
spaced.
goodness me.
And
Mm.
Raktika's not the easiest to navigate
No.
because there's like a thin section in the middle you can fly over,
Mm-hmm.
but the rest is too high.
Yeah.
So it's pretty annoying doing the dailies there.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that the Qitari's Beast Tribe camp is on the far east side
Yeah.
of the zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I teleported back to Fano after every single quest pretty much.
I did that too.
Same. Yeah.
I
If I
couldn't
ever
go
had
back.
to go to the western side of the
Yeah.
zone, I would teleport back to
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it was a good quest. It's a cute storyline. But yeah, bad
excited.
quests in general. The
Yeah.
gathering ones.
It'd be interesting to see what the potentially final Beast Tribe will be, unless they decide to do 4, which would be nice.
I'm pretty sure the final one will be the dwarves.
Yeah.
I probably, but because they're so involved in the near raid,
Mm.
maybe they can say that they've had their time in the sun. And
What would you think it would be then?
as long as it's not the Sahagin people, I'll be fine. They're rubbish.
Oh.
I don't think it.
the
I don't
Ondo.
think it will be that.
I would like to do quests for the Amaro village in Ilmeg, but 2 in Ilmeg
It's-
probably won't work.
No.
They're also already tied to the Pixie quest line,
Yeah.
That is true, actually, yeah.
and so did the Nemo end up being tied to them as well, which is why I don't think it will be the Nemo.
Seeing as they're not beast tribes but tribes,
Mm.
maybe it could involve a human settlement. in some
That
way.
would be very weird.
Which human
but-
settlement then?
Like Gate Town?
Gate Town would be quite good to watch that evolve and not have poverty, even though they shouldn't really have poverty anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Don't worry,
maybe
Yulmore is still stratified. It's fine.
that town on the west side of Amarang where the drunk was.
Twine.
Maybe, yeah.
The lore behind Twine's name is very strange.
What was that
Why
again?
is it called
It's
Twine?
called Twine because it's supposed to invoke the image of a Makote and a Hrothgar tail twisted together.
Oh, yeah.
and twined
Yeah,
and
yeah,
working
yeah.
together.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was bad.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what we get. Right.
I think it will be in Kalusia. I think Kalusia is the zone most. Kalusia or
In the
Lake
people.
We know it's going to be a crafting one, right? Because they said the last
will
two
be
would be.
crafting.
Yeah.
Dwarves are crafters.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, they've hit the nail on the head with Beast Tribe since Stormblood, so we're in for a treat either way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, from fun to less fun, we have to talk about. We have to talk about the coronavirus for
You
a
can't
second.
escape it.
I'm sorry.
COVID-19. Thank you very much.
COVID-19, but also known as the novel coronavirus.
Why is it novel?
I don't
It's
know.
new.
It's just
novel.
what it's
This
called.
means it's new.
Yeah. The reason we're talking about it is because of FanFest. Now,
Yes.
don't worry. We have not heard any news yet. This is not an announcement, but...
Imagine if we broke that news.
God, yeah.
that would be...
Well, Yoshi P, what if he contacts us?
What we're now wondering is whether or not, because we don't know how long this is going to last. The estimates are all over the place for all countries.
Yeah, but we're pushing towards the end of the year potentially,
Yeah.
which would
Yes.
coincide with NA
They
and
are,
possibly JP.
because if we're looking at events that are currently being considered cancelled, the Olympics, which is in summer.
That's big.
Yeah. Summer is usually when FanFest tickets go on sale for the
Yes.
first FanFest,
Yeah.
which will be NA one. And or at least the announcement. I can't remember if it's just the announcement and then the tickets go on sale during or later during the summer, or if it's early autumn.
still summer.
Yeah. We will see what happens.
A lot of gaming things have been cancelled. E3.
Let me just emphasize again
E3.
with the Olympics, even if the Prime Minister said that it would happen, things change very rapidly, and I think it's ultimately not up to him. It is up
Yeah.
to the Olympics committee to decide whether that
Yes.
happens or not. And looking at
I mean, either
my
of
continent,
those parties could cancel it
yeah,
if
Yeah.
they wanted
yeah.
to.
So we just don't know. So that's what we're just discussing now. Do you think FanFest will be affected by this? Do you anyone of you?
Certainly not Europe.
Europe is in February. I would be very surprised if that one got cancelled.
My worry is NA, and my question, I suppose, is if North America gets cancelled, does Japan pick up the slack and do the 2 FanFest worth of reveals? If that one's also affected, does Europe just have it all in one go, and then it's not the build-up that we're used to?
I've said this before. I think Japan's is by far the least likely to be affected by it. No, sorry. Is America's is the only one that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what I should be saying.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it requires dev staff to travel in order to arrive there.
From an infected country to another one that's also shutting down a lot.
Yeah.
Of outward.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Japanese one, even though they might still, it would probably be at the tail end of the virus epidemic. So I suspect that because it doesn't require travel, it will likely still go ahead.
Yeah. And look at that art panel that they did. They still streamed it in some capacity. They could, in theory, do a live broadcast of the reveals and panels and just forgo some of the gathering stuff if they had.
Yeah, they could do that.
Even for NA.
I think if they were to do that, certain things would still end up falling by the wayside. Like I suspect the concerts wouldn't happen.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
And even though I've only ever watched a fan fest on stream, I still think I'd lose something by knowing that it's just them sat in an office streaming it on, and then they might do a PowerPoint or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be like a live letter.
Yeah.
So.
And I love after the fact watching people who have filmed it in there doing the reactions. I just love listening to people get hyped.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We will see what happens. It's sort of just like NA is a little behind Europe in terms of spread, so that's why we're saying that. Let's not go into that. But whatever. My country's estimate is that the worst of it will be over by October this year. So we will just have to wait and see what happens to the rest of the world by then.
Because by current estimates, it's likely that the US one, the spread of the virus in the US will also be at the tail end by the time of the North American Fan Fest. The question is whether they will be willing to make that risk, or whether the fact that the virus was occurring at the time will have affected the production of the event in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess they could always delay. They don't have to cancel if it's at the tail end, but they've already... I'm assuming they've already...
That sounds very expensive.
Yeah, that's what
they
I'm...
probably have already dealt with venue staff and...
Yeah.
But seeing as it's kind of like an emergency situation, they might be able to there might be some deals they can strike. But
can you imagine, like, if the Europe one was in May and then the expansion is brought out like the month after? That'd be weird.
That's true. Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's that. Of course, there's
the fact that we're getting the next expansion next year.
The expansion was the Stormblood came out in June. Shadowbringers was out in July. So assumedly, whatever 6.0 is will come out. I don't think it'll be in July. I think it'll be in August.
They're not going to arbitrarily add a month on each time. Well, they might.
They might. I don't know.
But it'll be in summer.
I don't think it'll be arbitrary. Just like estimating based on...
When did Heavensward come out?
That's a good question.
Ooh, I don't know.
Don't say it like that.
If it's May, then we have a pattern.
June.
Oh, it was June. So yeah, because Shadowbringers just came
early
out
June
later.
or late June?
23rd, quite late.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only Shadowbringers that was only 2nd of July. Okay, so it'll probably still be late June, early July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's the last thing we'll say about the virus today. We're just
I was going to say, just clarify today, because there's always potential for future news.
Yeah, or definitely, it's not the last time we'll ever talk about it. Right, so yeah, fingers crossed that maybe everything will be over by... Well, see... Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm bringing this back again. Because the big problem, just to emphasize what the problem is when are they going to put the tickets on sale? Like when, because
they have to be sure that it'll go ahead.
If they usually do that in summer, that's when peak is expected in Europe, at least. So I don't know what it is for NA, but that's when like the.
If it's late summer though, peak will probably be over.
Yeah,
and we'll be on the down.
I also don't know if they're necessarily going to be against releasing tickets during, because they'll be assuming that it will be over by the time the events occur.
And if they have to cancel the event, they'll have to refund.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But I also think that like right now, they're starting to cancel tickets for things that are happening in summer.
Yeah.
I just don't think that we'll go through this entire period where like no event tickets of anything outside, besides just FanFest will be selling during summer because people will be too worried to plan things.
Yeah.
I just think that's too extreme of a shutdown in terms of anything happening
Things
worldwide.
things are pretty extreme right now, though. That's the thing. I mean, I feel like
I agree, but like
yeah.
I just think I think it's easier for them to plan for ticket sales and then cancel them rather than delay them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Anyways, that's the scary stuff over with. We're getting an expansion, anyways, even if there is no FanFest, which is it's still that's gonna be very sad. It's gonna be a big hole.
Also consider there is the potential that the virus will delay the expansion's development.
Also true. Thank you, Gogi.
Thank you for lighting up our
bringing
world.
a new bit of doubt into our lives.
Thank you. We needed that. Thank you very much.
I feel like I'm the one that's most positive about FanFest happening, so
I was thinking it, but I didn't say anything. I thought maybe when we're closer to when we know during summer. Okay. Right. Let's jump on to main story. Patch 5.21 has been released. I think we'll just look at the patch notes and then discuss the stuff that we've done as we get to them.
yes.
Right. Let me see if we can switch to that. Patch came out on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or was it Monday?
Tuesday.
This is reset day.
Yeah, reset day. I never know anymore because I feel like sometimes they just release them on random days.
That's
I don't
usually
think
seasonal events.
Yeah, it's normally seasonal events or like other small things.
Yeah.
Patches almost always come out on reset day.
Especially
I don't know, I don't play this
an
game.
important patch.
Where is
Ishgard Restoration.
What's wrong?
Echoes of a Fallen Star patch 5.21.
I
think he has that. I think the question is looking for the...
Yeah, there's no capture set up.
Just keep talking.
Yeah, keep...
and everything will be okay.
Okay, well, here we are. Ignore the empty frame as usual. Right, here's the patch. Patch notes, rather. So they've added new quests for the Ishgardian Restoration story.
It's a lot.
As of recording right now, these are not available anywhere, but they will be very soon, because some servers are getting very close to the end.
There's 4 quests.
Yeah.
That's like way more than there were for the first part of the restoration.
It'll be interesting to see what
that's not even
about.
Including the side quests.
No.
And why the hell is that green man there? I mean the dinosaur, not the Edison.
Yeah. There's 4 quests.
And the guards are being involved.
Yeah.
An old man and the Warrior of Darkness.
There's also some side quests that will be unlocked.
4 more quests involving Ishgard Restoration.
But
once the story quests have been complete, I like this one, the one that Lakil is highlighting. Yes.
Oh my god, are we going to bring get the aid of all of the beast tribes around in the Heavenswood areas?
Well, it only says the Vath beast tribe here.
It doesn't require any others, and none of the other side quests seem to have that much of a...
So let me explain this for the audio listeners. There's a quest, one of the side quests that require you to finish the Vast Beast Tribe quest, Adventurers Don't Get Cold Feet, which implies that the Vath will be involved in this side quest in some way.
That's fine. They were cool.
Yeah, they were.
I think the Vath Beast Tribe quest was the best one of Heavenswood.
I think they were the best.
Yeah, I think
they were the
I'll
best
agree.
Beast Tribe of Heavenswood.
Okay, in housing, there's some new furnishings. There's the new Estinian and Emmerich paintings.
Yeah,
I like that they have
their frame is the same.
I was about to say that I like that because a lot of the paintings in this game have wildly different frames, which makes
it realistic, isn't it?
It may, but not in this case. This is like there. At least there's 2 pictures in my house that have the same frame.
It's a very interesting frame shape because it implies the canvas that they were painted on was not square or rectangular.
Yeah.
Weird.
Stinian is still a bit of a strange.
He's not meant to be unmasked.
No,
No.
it's
Sort of
very
the point of
weird.
his character.
Yeah.
I
But he's
understand
had
why
to come into the fray.
yeah.
I understand why he's unmasked now. I don't understand why this portrait of him is unmasked.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're not really meant to reveal the Azure Dragoon's face to the entire population, are you?
Mm.
Yeah.
Also, is he, like noble enough for a painting of this stature? Is he big enough compared to
yeah,
Emmerich?
it's the Azure Dragoon. It's like the most prominent knight or
Yeah.
like
I suppose,
military man in the Ishgardian army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also the Mog chair or whatever it's called. There's
Seat. It looks
Mog
comfy.
seat. Yeah.
Bag kind.
Yeah. The little cute table. And
Clothes rack
clothes. Yeah.
Clothes rack.
Clothes rack.
for all your alpine coats.
Yes. These are all you have to buy these for scripts for Ishgardian Restoration.
No,
Scripts?
The chairs from the.
the chairs from the Kupo card. Sorry, I mean the cards as well. Yeah.
I think the table is also from the Kupo cards.
Yeah.
If
And
I
there's a
recall
few more
correctly.
things that aren't shown here.
Yeah, they're all there's quite a lot actually that's not
There's
shown
some
here.
stuff.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of things that they're releasing this patch
Yeah.
that are almost all tied to the Ishgardian
We're
Restoration.
skipping
New
these
orchestrion rolls. No. Everyone
yeah.
is excited about the fact that apparently, I haven't actually looked into this, the Azizla song is finally available as an orchestrion roll.
What's that called?
Order yet undeciphered.
Okay.
Don't assume that
One called
naturally know the
Fealty's
name
been
of it.
added. Which one's Fealty?
Fealty is the horrible song that plays in like Camp Dragonhead, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
New triple tried cards have been added. Who cares?
Yes!
A new emote.
Triple Tri cards have been added.
Eating bread has been added as an emote.
And presumably more. There are more.
There
emotes
are
as
more.
well.
Yeah,
yes.
there are more emotes. But
Yes,
they're
that is
they're
correct. It's the
only
Kurthus Overlord song, not the song that plays in Camp Dragonhead.
right.
Karen.
The Karen.
Karen.
The Karen has been added. The hairstyle.
I would like to speak to your manager.
Not much to say about that. It's there.
Can we quickly look through the hairstyle design contest? I just want to see which ones have not been implemented
You want me
yet.
to quickly look through the hairstyle design contest?
Look here, do we have? It's not like we
Yeah,
lack
come
in
on.
time.
He's thrown you a bone here.
That is not a bone that I. Oh, okay. I feel like haven't we not covered this before?
Almost
have,
all of
but
them
like-
have been. Oh, there's the
question
Karen.
The question is which ones are not implemented yet.
Oh,
we
there's
have,
one that looks like he's got
Excuse
a croissant
me.
on his head.
Is that the Karen one?
No,
that's not the Karen one. That one's
Karen
already in
one's
the
much further down.
Oh yeah.
There's the Giribanian, not the Hien style one.
Sorry, audio
There's my
listeners.
hair.
There's Karen.
There's Karen, but if you go down like a few more, there's one that looks like a croissant. There.
Croissant. Well, this one we have already, right?
We have one like it.
We have one
It's
like
The
it.
Pompadour. Yeah,
the
we have the
Pompadour.
Pompadour.
Yeah.
Looks dumb.
Okay.
I think we
funny.
have all of these except the one that's on that Lullafell up.
That one.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
floofy one.
So get excited. There'll probably be another hair design. So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna enter.
Right. In terms of battle system, players will now receive the power of the Echo in Eden's Gate. That is expected, but there you are.
It's a bit later than I expected. I would have thought it would have come in 2.2.
I guess. I can't remember when Echoes are.
I mean, it's only 3 weeks later, but it just feels strange.
This is probably the best part of the whole thing. In the Chronicles of a New Era quest, Uninvited, the cast time of the Red Chocobo's Choco Meteor has been increased. And in the same...
You've not successfully completed that yet, and you've been waiting all this time to finally get onto.
Finally, I can do
for
this content.
I don't think this has been the barrier for. Actually, you know what? I feel as if I've seen someone on the official forum complaining about that exact problem. So maybe there is someone that has been prevented from continuing the Rabanastron storyline
So upset.
since 4.3.
Yeah. And in the same vein, the following changes have been made to the battle with the Thunder God in the Orbon Monastery. The damage dealt when Shadowblade domes overlap has been reduced. The duration of the bleeding...
Don't let the bolus touch.
Don't let the bolus touch. The duration of the bleeding debuff applied by Shadowblade has been reduced. The damage dealt when too few players are standing on the Duskblade circle has been reduced. The potency of the burst attack used by the Ice Wolves has been reduced. And the effect of the vulnerability up debuff has been weakened. There you go.
I mean,
no more.
At this
no
point,
longer...
anything that makes Rabanaston dungeons go faster is good, but...
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not going to make it go faster. It's,
Less wipes potentially, though.
That's true, but they didn't reduce its HP or anything,
No.
so it's going to take just as long.
But
on a successful run.
I think what most people were tired of in the monastery, and one of the main reasons a lot of people struggled with this was that people kept wiping to this boss, and people would leave.
Yeah, people have gotten progressively less patient as this game's gone on with wiping.
Well,
but it's no harder than Ozma or anything. It's easier.
I think the problem is that it's now part of a roulette, so you can get it on your roulette, and then
I think the other problem is that unlike Ozma, this has not been hit by the eye level creep because of the fact that it is the final tier of this series of 24 mans.
Yeah.
Whereas Ozma is in the middle tier and therefore has become quite a bit weaker. It's the same problem that Dunscaith has to a certain extent, except Dunscaith is easier than Orborn Monastery.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's some new items, which we will talk about, I guess, when we talk about the Ishgardian Restoration, because that's the big feature in this patch. This is the Ishgard Restoration patch. We have done a lot of it. We've done the Diadem.
Yes.
You've tried the Kupo Fortune yet? Any of you? Well, I know Georgi has. Mela?
I've not managed to bother to actually get all the mats to make.
I would unless you want to rank, don't do the top one, don't do the green one.
Oh, I don't have the gear to do expert recipes.
No. That's the tough one unless you have the best gear in the game.
And even then it's difficult.
It is tough.
But
there's a certain degree of RNG involved.
Yeah. But yeah, so far I keep getting prisms from the Kupo thing, but it's fun.
I have done it twice. I've gotten a House Zemail set of prisms, and I got a level 7 materia. So
that's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right. I think I would have rathered some of the other things.
And we also mentioned how the example picture here that they've added shows a really terrible a terrible card where the rarest prize is 10 Gatherer's Grasp Materia 8.
Which is some money, but it's not what you're doing these cards for the most part.
No.
That's not even the worst part of that. The worst part is it offers a Zervanite Carapace fragment, and they skipped Zervan's weapons as a craftable thing. For no reason. Yeah. So brilliant.
Yeah.
And his were cool because they were red. They could. I'm so annoyed. Why did they skip Zervan?
That is kind of strange.
You should probably go into mechanically how they work.
Yes, so
it's not that complicated.
It's very easy. You get 5 random items on your card that you can get. The first one will have an 8%. Is it always the same percentage, right? It's always 8, 9, 15, 23, 45. Unless you hover over to the left side where there's only one circle, or not a circle, it's like a hexagon. And you will lose the chance to get the top one, but you will have a higher chance of getting the lower ones, right?
Yes.
Well, you lose the chance of getting the top and the bottom one.
Oh,
if you choose the leftmost hexagon, you can only get 2nd, 3rd, or 4th place prizes.
Right.
Yeah. A very low chance.
Yeah, and you only get one attempt per card, so you have to pick one, and then the icon that is on that is what you'll get. Right, let's talk about the Diadem.
Yeah, the Diadem. I've done lots of that today.
How many hours did you spend in there, Mail?
Probably about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's about how long I was in there for.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, because I thought it would be worth doing it myself, as it's a different experience when you streaming it to people and trying to be entertaining when you're just doing it for the Diadem.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fine. It's good.
I think it is all the fun of gathering.
I think
In a
it doesn't
zone.
feel like as much of an effort now, mostly because of quick gathering.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's
And
not.
every now and then the weather effects and getting the rare ones is good.
Yeah, but would you call it fun?
Not necessarily fun, but not obnoxious
Right.
to where I feel sick going in there. I feel fine going in there because all of the stage 2 recipes for Ishgard, even like the level 10 ones and stuff,
Yeah.
all require things from here.
Mm-hmm.
I find it much easier to gather mats to do them rather than going around the whole world. So I'm okay with it.
I think that's what I am too. I'm just okay. It's okay. It's the Diadem, and
It's probably the best the
It's
Diadem's been.
probably
for a
the
long
best
It
it's
time.
ever
definitely
been.
is.
Yeah.
And the amount of mats you get from blowing things up is really good.
Yeah, that's true. It fills up your. That's one thing that I don't like is that it fills your inventory really
That's true.
fucking. Especially if you have been to the Diadem, you have had your items stamped or whatever,
Yeah.
and then go back in, and then forget that. Oh yeah, now they are new items. So if I gather that item again, that will take up a new slot in your inventory. So make
Yeah.
sure you like empty that out before you go back
Yeah.
in.
If you have a tab free, that is enough for a foray into the Diadem.
Yes.
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 But I would recommend having 2 tabs if you want to go back in
Yeah.
with stamps
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So it's very heavy on the inventory.
Yeah.
But, you get a reasonable number of scripts per run. I've gone from like 1,400 to 3,000 something.
Mm-hmm.
By just gathering, that's quite good. Because
Yeah.
usually gathering's really penalised because it's no skill, so no brain
Mm-hmm.
content.
Yeah.
I guess the weirdest part of it is that even on some of my lower level gatherer, my miner, for the most part, even the 81 stars,
Mm-hmm.
are like 100% chance to gather. The only hard ones, the green ones.
Yeah.
Are they?
They
get
are if you're
100%
too low
on the green.
leather.
Okay, because I get 100% on
Oh,
the
I
green
am-
ones
I
as
am
well.
100%.
I do on my
everything.
botanist, but
Oh.
on my miner, it's like 64% or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Redemption for the Diadem, I guess. They've made it so like okay that it can just stay now. Like they don't
Yeah,
have to
I'm-
Yes.
touch it again. This is fine.
It's become non-torturous.
Yes. It's not something I will be like recommending everyone to be doing. It's something you do
No.
just for the Ishgard Restoration thing, just so if you want to get on the leaderboard.
Allegedly, it's decent XP as well.
Oh yeah, that too.
It
There's
is.
that
It is
too.
very
Loki
decent
was getting
XP.
good XP.
Yeah.
In the space of about less than an hour we spent on the stream yesterday, I went from level 40 to level 45 on my miner
5 levels is
That's
pretty
pretty
big.
good. Yeah.
in
For
an
a gatherer.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So if you're stuck leveling your gatherers, use this.
Yes.
Because it's quite fast.
There's this new sub command that's been added to the crafting log. I haven't actually tried this yet.
Oh, I've not tried this.
There's a resource requirements window that will show up.
That's useful.
What actually does it? You can see how many inspected and uninspected materials you have in possession. Oh, I see. That's interesting. I haven't tried that. I didn't even know that. So there's the rankings. The rankings will end. The season will end on the 20th.
Is that just it? After the 20th? Or does it reset?
No. Didn't they say that it would just reset
I
again?
think they'll just go on resetting.
Yeah,
each
they
time.
said that everyone should have a chance to make it to the leaderboard at some point. So that's why they're doing that.
But why does it only mention one then? The ranking period lasts from the release of patch 5.21 until March 19th at 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't mention it will reset. That's why I'm worried.
They'll do like a post when it's closer, probably, and just say we're entering season 2 of
Yeah.
Ishgard Restoration leaderboards until
They
they
better
can't
be
be bothered.
frequent.
Yeah, they said
I
that
assume as soon as it ends, there'll be like a cooling down period of a day, maybe.
Yeah,
and
when
then
we because when we covered when they first announced this, that's pretty much what they said. They said that people should be always have a chance to get on the leaderboard, so they would have to reset them often to make sure that people wouldn't have like exponentially high scores, so that no one could ever reach the leaderboard. That's why they reset them very often.
Yes. I agree. I'm fine, and I'm fine with the resetting frequently.
Yeah.
I just want to know the rate at which it does that. Like, will it reset immediately after this period ends, or is there a cooling off period of like a week or day, or how long before the next season starts? Is my question.
Probably not long. Yeah, maybe a week max, but maybe I would assume almost just like a day. I don't know how fast they're gonna do this, because that's why we now have a seasonal and an accumulated score. So you have your permanent score and your seasonal score on the.
And of course, if you want that Pteranodon mount, you better get all your personal scores up to your accumulated scores up to 500,000 for all your crafters and gatherers.
Yep.
This is long-term content.
That's true.
And
It
look,
definitely
it's
is long-term
accumulated.
content.
It's accumulated score, not
Yeah.
seasonal. So
Yeah.
even if you only get like 1,000 this time, that's still 1,000 towards your dinosaur or whatever it is.
Yeah. That one, I don't even want to think about it, because that is, I will never reach that. I think.
Of course you will. If you do it regularly, you'll eventually get.
I'll be like fucking 85 by the time
No,
I've done
you
that.
won't.
But the thing is, for the disciples of the hand, you need to be doing the expert recipes, because the regular level 81 only gives you like 25 points max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Whereas
the
if you
expert's
do
like 170 or something.
Yeah, the expert rewards for them are massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the expert recipes, I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I started that.
Oh, you tried one, did you?
Oh yeah, I did 2. It was only
successfully.
Yes, but getting that collectability up to like a level where you can actually deliver them, no, that was impossible for me. I got them to like 3,000, I think, and you need 5,000 to be able to deliver it.
Right, it's collected. I was going to say quality. What's wrong with you? Out of 64,000.
Do they show? No, they don't show it here. Okay.
Well.
Yeah, it has these extra conditions that can happen, which I quite like. It can get like centralized, which means you'll spend 25% less CP. Yeah, it says right here. Sorry, centered increases action success rate by 25%. Sturdy reduces.
Centered is not very useful.
It's very good. It's very good if you need to do rapid synthesis or hasty touch.
Yeah.
Sturdy reduces loss of durability by 50%, and can be stacked with waste knot and waste knot 2.
Yes.
Wow.
And pliant reduces CP cost by 50%. These are all good.
They are.
They're all good. Yes.
So yeah, I thought that was a very interesting thing to add. And of course, I'm glad that it's just for the expert recipes, because I don't think I would enjoy it that much if it was on all the stuff in the game.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have heard tell that these are well-received updates for people who craft heavily and have been disappointed by the simplification of crafting over time.
Yes. Yeah.
I would also say, personally, I would be happy for them to add expert quality recipes to other recipes in the game. Not necessarily gear and stuff, because I don't think people would be happy with that. But maybe like a housing items or glamours or something.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there you have it. It's a cool system. Although it is not for me. It seems.
It is it's a bit too.
It seems very difficult.
Yes.
As chat says, it's a bit too big brain for me.
Yeah, bit too big brain.
I mean, it's still just a 60 durability recipe.
Yeah.
But with a very big mountain to climb in terms of quality.
Which is why they've added the conditions. The conditions help. Like,
you need to use them, don't you? I think you have to use them to their advantage.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting.
I think I won't be trying to do this in any regular capacity until our gear overall is significantly better than the maximum at which it is at right now.
Yeah. Yes, let's talk about the fate. The actual the Boxing Day. Jürgen and I was sad because we'd missed out on Boxing Day. We thought we had. But then the boxes reappeared yesterday on Ragnarok.
Except we had to run significantly further than they have in previous steps.
Yes. You basically mine and then collect and then deliver rubble, I guess.
And then you shove them into 4 caravans that somehow fit millions of tons of like rock.
Yeah. There are more of these fates now than before. I'm still a little shocked at how quickly it's going. It's going very quickly. But
a bit too quickly still.
Yeah.
Especially considering you can only do it on your own world now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's still going as fast as it is.
We've made it pretty far into the firmament now. We are at this square now that we're at. Like, it looks like it's supposed to house an aetheryte, but that doesn't make any sense. It's probably going to be like a statue.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just going to be like the hub. Like, this is where you enter. What if they add an aetheryte there? That would be very strange.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
If it's a house district with an aetheryte.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
It's the perfect spot for an aetheryte. So it's it's going to be either an aetheryte or just a statue. But we'll see. If you haven't done the fates already, time is probably going to run out soon for you. Most servers are like on the 4th or 5th hammer. So this is a very it's a little complicated to figure out like where your server is, because there's the stages and then there's the hammers.
Oh yeah.
The hammers are the the fates, I think. Like, that's you do the fates, you get a hammer. You do the stage and you progress. So that so on the website,
it seems to be that there's 2 hammers per stage.
2 hammers per yes.
It's
2 hammers. Yeah, 2 hammers per stage. Yeah, that's what we.
With each hammer representing a fate, as Chad is saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're assuming that 6 hammers would be the end, right? Because there's probably just going to be 3 stages. Yeah, we got 5, so we're almost done.
Yes.
We're on
How many stages are there?
We don't know, though. That's true.
That's the thing. How many stages are there? Because there weren't that many last time.
No. You can see on this screenshot, by the way, the hammers. So you can see how it's sort of... this is from the earlier. This is from the old ones, though. So don't... Yes. Oh, wow. In the old ones, the first one, there was only 1 fate. Look at that. Number 7 and then...
2.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Is there 2? No, number 5, number 6, number 7. Do you see that? There's no hammer. There's only 1 hammer between 5 and 7.
But there were 2 fates each time. There was the one that happened like 2 hours after the stage was completed. And then there was another one that was 8 hours after that.
Right.
So people had, like, I guess, a second chance.
Right.
Except now they've shortened that period so that the 2 fates each stage are much closer to each other.
Yes, right.
Yeah, chat's right. Tonbury, for example, is on the Matic 4th stage with 8 hammers.
Okay, so we are going past 3.
So there's going to be a heck of a lot.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, well there you have it.
I mean, it's good if you've not got 80 everything. Do a fate level crafter, and you'll get a full levels XP.
Yeah,
and a good number of those scripts.
yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to be that low level. I did a 65 Weaver, and I got to halfway through level 66.
Yeah,
on my Ragnarok character.
they're good.
Of course, it kind of scares you because of the fact that there's so many people in the zone.
Yeah.
It takes a while for you to get the experience and the Sky Builder script reward.
Yeah. They finally. So moving on from that, Power Souls have been added. Finally.
Yeah, they're
They're there.
certainly there.
Yeah. There are 2 kinds of them.
Glad they were added.
You can have all the fun of emoting with your face.
Yeah,
while
Those are
holding
the
a
only
parasol.
emotes that work.
you can look pained.
Y-
You
They
cannot Mary Poppins.
they added the sheep mount.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They added
Machinist barding.
some machinist barding
Machinist Bard. Yes.
and the Cerberus dog minion.
Cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just from scripts, I think. isn't he?
Yes.
And then there are some other minions and mounts that are available from crafting, receiving certain degrees of points or ranking certain.
All in all,
levels.
a lot of items
And
have been added.
achievements and stuff. Loads has been added this patch.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All tied to the Ishgardian Restoration.
Yes.
So you better enjoy
100%.
crafting and gathering.
Mm-hmm. They added the new dice. We've talked about them already. They do look nice. Very vibrant colors that they've added.
I quite like that pink.
That's a very nice pink.
Yeah.
Cherry. Yeah.
They're all, even the new metallic ones are nice. Even pearl white is quite nice.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
And it's
Pearl white is one of
subtle,
the
but
counts as one of the metallic ones.
Yeah. Also want to add that when we talked about dice last week, we said that it's been a while since a die was added. We forgot about metallic yellow.
that is true.
That was added
And
very
orange, I
recently.
suppose, in a way.
Yeah, and orange.
That
yeah.
was quite
Yeah.
not too bad. Disappointed that not even a single one of these has been added as a crafting recipe, and they're all bought with scripts.
Yeah.
Sky Builder scripts at that,
Sky
which
Builder
are
scripts, yeah.
which are a useful resource for buying all the other things they've added. Why would you choose to buy something that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a generic script, so you can buy them with just doing the game. You have to do Ishgard Restoration.
Yeah.
And they're selling for very big money.
Yeah.
So I suppose if you want to sell them, get on it.
Yeah. They could always change this in the future, though, and make them recipes. They have done stuff like that before, so maybe when Ishgard Restoration is less popular, or when this is old, you can craft them. All right, I think that's it. The rest is just the achievements. Mapping the realm, the diadem is available again, and the new emotes have been added to the command list. Yes, I think that's okay. There's some known issues. An issue where the Ishgardian Restoration, wherein under certain conditions, crafters' primary tools are displayed incorrectly during concerted works. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. An issue in the diadem wherein it is not possible to. I love known issues, by the way. This is one of the things that I love the most about patch notes, because it's like this is wrong with our game and we haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
An issue in the diadem wherein it's impossible to cast at certain fishing locations. An issue wherein, under certain conditions, the bread used in the eat bread emote is displayed incorrectly.
It's actually an egg.
An issue wherein using a parasol does not prevent the wet effect being applied to weapons when it's raining.
What?
a weird...
Who cares?
An issue...
I don't mind if you don't fix that. It doesn't matter to me.
An issue in the Ishgardian Restoration wherein speaking with Ludovran in the firmament and selecting View My Skyward Score caused some parts of the window that appeared to be displayed incorrectly.
Yeah, I did it and it said I got 700,000 score.
Oh.
Ow.
An issue wherein the text describing the etheromatic auger incorrectly states that compressed ether can be increased by fissures. Compressed ether can only be increased by miners and botanists.
You can only compress ether as a miner.
Yeah.
You can't squeeze ether out of a fish.
No. You can try, but you won't
Put
get...
that on my gravestone. That's fine.
All right. Well, that's that.
I'm generally happy with it.
It's a pretty good patch.
I mean, I still need to catch up on my crafters, so I don't feel like I can really be part of this content yet. But once I've got them all to 80 and crafted myself the facet gear,
yeah,
they made crafting so easy with the last patch.
Yeah,
that's when I caught up with everyone.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to spam out the recipes from stage 2 of this on my lower levels just to get the XP. I feel like that's probably quite an easy way to level.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt that facet quests and leaves still give a lot of experience.
Yeah. Right, I guess it's time for some Mog Mail. All right, Mog Mail. Mog Mail, Mog Mail. No.
Wrong.
Old MogMail. Here it is. This one is from CNR. So this is the one I wanted to mention last time, from CNR Misa from Odin. Good evening, speakers. At the end of the new Eden quest, there's both an in-game message and a system message that tells you the next Eden quest will be handled by the kind of random NPC that's just there in Amarang, explicitly saying that Thancred and Oriange won't be available when the new raids will drop. Don't you think it's weird and kind of spoilerish? We could easily deduce the patch timing in which they come back to the source in a more official way, while saying Reen will stay for the next raid wing. Of course, Scions will come back on the source, but stating it like that took away the fun of speculating and theorizing, at least for me. What do you think? It's kind of implied in the story before they say that they will probably leave soon, Oriange and Thancred, when you sit in the walking stairs. I can't remember what it's called.
Something like that.
It was weird that they sort of explicitly said that. I thought that was weird. I mentioned it last time as well. It's weird that they said that, because they could just end it there. And when the new... Well, I guess you needed to know where to show up.
But that's where
you
you
always
have to
show up there
anyway. It was there already.
Yeah, I thought, it is weird. It is weird that they said that. Oriange will not be available for this.
And also, do they really expect me to remember where I have to go quest every single patch without looking at...
Yeah.
But I guess at the same time, you have to do the Eden and you have to do the MSQ in tandem.
Yeah.
So it's sort of fine to say... We know they're going to leave. And I'd rather them just explicitly say in the raid series as well, when we go for the MSQ, we'll be leaving this raid series as well. Because, it's obvious that they will. I'd rather not have them just sort of randomly in two places at once.
Not like that can't happen right now.
Well, it's... Yeah, I don't know. It was... Why are they revealing it now and not... Wouldn't it be a bigger surprise for us next patch when the story actually continues?
Maybe they're just giving us credit for the fact that we probably realized that they've said that the story on the first will end in 5.3, that they just won't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when we jump back into this, it'll be 5.4.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be quite funny for a cutscene of Reen and Guy to come and say,
they just left.
Where's Thancred and Urianger? You're like, they went ages ago.
That's true. They
would talk in game, wouldn't they?
They could solve it by just baking it into the MSQ though, because they've already made Eden a requirement for the MSQ. No, other way around. MSQ.
No, the other way around. Yeah.
They've sort of already done a half bake. So they could just make that part of the MSQ.
Fair idea in chat that the fact that they're being so obvious that Urianger and Thancred are leaving could mean that something goes wrong.
Could. We've already speculated about that.
Especially Thancred.
Yeah.
Don't really want Thancred or Urianger to die.
No.
No.
They are the most. Yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah, they are. Even
Get
though
rid
I
of,
hate
like-
Urianger's stupid Shakespearean English, he is still a pretty good
Oh,
character.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because everyone else talks not modern, but
No.
in a more modern way. Imagine if there was just someone you knew who was like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should take that up.
No, I don't think so. No.
I can't remember. Chat brings up something kind of related, kind of not. Did we talk about that extra quest for the 24-man raid?
Oh, for Yorha?
Yeah, for Yorha.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, we haven't
That
talked
was
about
rubbish,
that.
wasn't it?
It wasn't rubbish, but it sets up what we're going to get next.
It kind
next
of.
24-man.
Is it like?
Because that's also kind of spoilery.
Is it? Is it maybe
It's
hinting at a potential like amusement park?
Yeah, it's setting up the
Yeah.
amusement park as
Yeah.
the next 24-man raid.
Yeah.
That would be cool to explore.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I think I said, maybe I said this to you guys. I like that they're doing this now because this way we'll be able to just jump into the 24-man rather than go through a whole fucking fetch quest like we did
Yeah,
with
that would
Iron
be nice.
Lighthouse.
Yeah. Okay.
It's weird they chose to do the copied factory. The factory is the ugliest part of Nier Automata. Almost every other zone's really quite pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
I suppose
it's like
very
the,
Nier.
it's the first part of the game as
Yeah.
well, Mailer.
All right. Next, I guess we'll jump into the next MogMail. Thank you, Senior. Next, Fleury Serrano Kujata.
Ah, Kujata.
Hello again, speakers. Thank you for the reply to the previous MogMail. This time, I want to talk about the Bozja Citadel stuff from the 5.2 trailer. That place in the trailer looks a lot like Memoria, Final Dungeon from Final Fantasy IX, with weird buildings and stuff. And in Final Fantasy IX, Memoria is spoilers for 9, I guess. Memoria is created by memories of the planet/crystal. What if Bozja that we're going to visit is the same as Memoria? If it's like that, maybe the Scions plus Reen in the scene with Cid are from our memories. Maybe I'm thinking too much since there's a lot of Final Fantasy IX references in Shadowbringers. What do you think? Thank you. All right.
That sounds complicated.
I never finished 9. I've said this before. But I know what Memoria is. It could be. That'd be interesting, but I feel like there's nothing
why?
indicating that that's going to be a memory. But it does, because from the trailer we've seen some weird shit. Like there's like floaty things, like the streets are like flying around and they're upside down.
It's this weird, like, distorted version of Bozja? Or, like, something Rabanastron looking, but claiming to be Bozja, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. Because, again, the Bozja part, we know nothing about. Other than things happened, big explosion, Hrothgar.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
it.
much.
Queen.
I think it would just... We don't need them to add in something that complicated to Bozja. Why? This has never happened before.
Yeah, because why is that happening then?
Yeah.
Like, why would... okay, so if we're going to go with a Memoria thing, why would Hydaelyn create this memory of Bozja mid-destruction?
Yeah.
That doesn't... I mean, something strange is happening.
Why would Reen be there?
Yeah, that's another question.
Well,
Because she's not...
it's sort of like we're pulling memories from different locations. Like, and that explains why all the Scions are there when they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, because we had this... Because I had this first initial idea that we were looking at an echo because I don't understand how there can be that many people in Bosja, and how we can see there's a lot of. I'm very curious about this storyline because I don't understand it at all. So, because from what we knew or initially, Bosja was basically just a fucking crater.
Yeah,
That's true, yeah.
it could be one of those things where it's like that weird illusory thing that we get in trials. Like, consider the second phase of Cinderdrift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the explanation for that?
That's
really?
true. That's yeah.
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 It's just like a simulation or something, isn't it?
But it's like I bought okay. I hate that part of, even though it's cool.
I love that part.
I love it. I love it, but from a lore perspective, I hate it because it doesn't quite make sense. I bought it in turn 9 because it was inside actual like VR chamber, but here we're in Gimlet Dark. So
it's
are
AR.
we drugged? Yeah, or what's happening?
It's just augmented. It's a fake diamond that's just projected onto the sky. It's fine.
Because, well, remember, these automata, these war machina, have taken their powers from primals. And consider the fact that primals have had this ability to make these weird illusory like locations before in the past. Like how Zervan takes us to that weird like steampunky place at in the second part of his fight, or third part of his fight. It could be something like that, where it is utilizing the illusory powers of some of the primals and interpreting it in a way that makes sense for the nail data that exists within the ruby weapon.
Even Ifrit turns the sun into an eclipse and the whole world into like a fiery pit thing.
Yeah.
I don't think all of that's actually happening, is it? Or is it?
Bahamut?
I don't know.
In 14?
No,
Ifrit.
Ifrit.
Oh, Ifrit. I thought you said Bahamut. I'm like, what the fuck? What have I missed? Oh yeah, Ifrit. No, that
Like,
that
who do we-
happens, doesn't it? That's
What?
There's
Yeah,
a
but how does it
cutscene
make-
of the sun being covered
By
Yeah,
what?
but by what?
by his
Menfina?
big lava shit. I actually don't know what that is. Again, of course, that's also not explained. But that is easier to explain than seeing Limsa Laminsa askew in the background.
What about the third phase of Tsukuyomi?
Well, that one's kind of explain. This is a primal though. This is like a
Yeah, but consider the ruby weapon uses the powers of Prime.
Yeah, like it's just a new version of Ultima, which sucks up primals and uses their powers. Like Ultima could use what's the weight of the world in it? What is it? What's it called? The Titan ability, the circle thing, weight of the mountains, something like that. And it could use eruption, and it could use those Ifrit circles as well.
Eruption.
No, the other one.
It's just that we have not seen this from a Garlean machine, and this is obviously something we might learn later, because there is I mean, we can talk about what's happening around us, but I mean, nail pops out of the top of the fucking machine.
As a
yes, that's true.
beast.
Also, consider the fact that Garlean machinery has taken inspiration from Elegans. Consider the things that like Omega can do.
And elegant technology in general.
Yeah.
So,
And maybe we don't know everything there is to know about
Now we're
primals.
just assuming, though. We don't actually know, because I feel like it's more tied to the nail that pops out of the fucking whatever the fuck that is.
Well, yes, I think it is tied to the nail, but I think it's a nail fueled by primal energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Either way, it's a
we'll soon know.
simulation.
I don't know why we're talking about Memoria.
I will say ultimately, I don't think we're supposed to think that much about the visual effects of Trials.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was my point. But still, the Bosja thing is what we were just originally discussing here.
Yeah. But But it ties up because you were saying, is it an illusion or not, and whether this
Yes,
Bosja thing is an illusion or not.
Yeah.
That was my question. Whether
If it's
what we're
Memoria.
saying Bosja is an illusion being created by...
Why would it be created by a
Please.
primal?
Or
Might
by
not be a
Hydaelyn,
primal.
who is a
Why
primal.
would Hydaelyn care?
We don't know
Well,
yet.
the question
See,
by
these are the
Fleury
questions
is-
we need to discuss. We can't just say,
But the-
oh, it's probably Hydaelyn, and then move on. We need to discuss why.
No, but they're saying it's a reference to 9, so in that case it would probably be Hydaelyn's creating it. So now we can think of the question why Hydaelyn would do that.
Mm-hmm.
No reason.
Okay. Okay.
There's no reason she would do that. There isn't, though, is there?
No.
There's no reason why it
Not
should
that I
be an
can think of
illusion.
right now. Bosja had no significance in the
thing-
world.
That it could be from, in my perspective, is an echo flashback of what happened at Bosja, and we take part in it in like an instance duty.
Mm.
That's the only reason I can think of for it being a fully functional facility. as part of it. I can't think of anything else it would be. I just can't.
No.
And perhaps this is just from the trial, and in the single player version, for some reason, some of the scions appear as the other X number of people,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the extreme version, it's just players. But I don't think it can be Memoria. I think that's way too big brain for such a side content. That would need to be like expansion quality
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah. Well,
consider the fact that they've been trying to make the side content, this expansion, more significant overall to the story and lore of the world. Like, look at Eden.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But I think it doesn't matter what happens to the first as much as it does what happens to the source.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And they've also said that, like, we already know for a fact that this is tied to the Rabanastron raids. I don't think they're against tying things together as much these days.
No,
Mhm,
I
no.
like that.
Yeah. Speaking of, we can just do this one as well. I'll jump to 4 because it ties into what we just talked about. Fortunately, we can't show it on screen because it came in very recently. This is from Elliot Rivers from Spriggan. Hello, speakers. In the trailer for 5.2, we can see our characters summoning the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, including Reen, just before what seems to be the boss of the Bosja Citadel. Do you think that their journey to the source will be resolved in 5.25, or that it is some kind of illusion, assuming that time and space seem turned upside down here? And more specifically concerning Reen, do you think that she will really travel with us? I'm having a stroke. Her case being a little different from the Scions, or that she will stay in the First in order, why not, to maintain the light/darkness balance with her new friend Gaia at the end of the Eden raid?
I don't think they'll be back by 5.25.
No,
They've
I
said
don't.
nothing about more main scenario quests being part of the half patch.
Yeah, can you imagine if that's how they came back in side content?
There's a tiny part of me that can see Reen coming to the source,
Yeah.
but I'm not expecting it.
No, I feel like Reen especially, there's a good chance she was just placeholder in that cutscene.
It is possible. But why?
If it's going to be anyone, and if it's like, this is an echo flashback thing, it would be Minfilia or someone.
Yeah, it's weird if it's supposed to just be placeholders for a party, because they would just normally use randomly generated characters that they usually do. So there has to be some significance to them being present in the cutscene. I don't think they would use Reen as a placement, just a random
The only
placement.
sort of explanation I can think of is, if I was to try and canonically explain this away as best as I could, would be to say that, like, we've captured an echo of their ether in that stupid aura site that we're supposed to take as a possession back to the source as a means of getting them there. But, like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, see, you have to think about the fact that if we are now pivoting towards the source again, and what if the next dungeon will be on the source? We would need to have NPCs that we can bring with us in the dungeon for trust.
If it's a trustable...
But that'll be in point.
Well, they've already said that. No, I'm not saying that this specific content is trust. I'm talking about the next patch. They might be sowing the seeds for the next patch, but it's weird to do it outside of the MSQ.
We also don't know if the next dungeon will be part of the MSQ. It could be side content.
Yeah.
Yes, but we'll see. It sounds like the next patch is a very important story patch.
Well,
Yes,
no.
Consider that in 4.3, the dungeon was not part of the main scenario. It was only the trial.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true. But we
Yeah,
didn't
there's
have
a chance
trusts
it
back then, though.
We didn't have trust back then, but I don't think they necessarily need... I don't think they're going to lock themselves into the dungeon.
We'll
MSQ.
see. We'll see. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why they're putting Reen in the Bosnia Citadel, where she shouldn't be.
I agree. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
From what we know right now.
Unless 5.25's patch notes come with an MSQ quest, then we'll know. But otherwise, they can't go to the source. It just isn't. It just can't happen.
Unless it's an 8-man trust trial, could they?
Yeah.
For the relic.
But why?
I suspect that's what the single player version of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think some of them may just be placeholders. If you're going to go there, it's going to be with Gaius
Weird.
and his cronies and Sid, who was there.
Yeah, but why put Sid in there and then Reen? Like, why?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. You would not put
Do
Reen
you think
in
they
there.
were pushed for time?
I don't
Do you think it's a mistake?
It's very unlike them to do that.
I don't see why they would use characters that exist in the game, because when they've used placeholders in trials previously, they just use
people.
Yeah.
Just characters.
People.
Yeah.
People. I don't. Yeah. It worries me significantly because if we go to Garlemald, finally, after all these years, I wanted to go to Garlemald, and Reen's coming along. I hope she gets lost in that forest on the way to Dalmasca.
Okay. Right. Well, we'll have to wait for a while to actually... Well, this patch will be out in 3 weeks now? I can't remember when 2.25 is.
Yeah, at least another month probably.
I would say a month.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks from now. Right. That's it. That's the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned, though, because the post-show, of course, if you're watching live, will start right after this. Remember to follow us, Twitter, XIV. No.
Twitter, xiv.com/Twitter.
Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfIreland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV.
X-Coffee.
Exclamation Discord in chat. If you're watching live, if you want to join our Discord server. If you were watching on demand, link should be in the description. Stay tuned for the post show if you're watching live. See you there.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.